Welcome back to Lores of Us, and today's lore is kinda long overdue. Today we're gonna dive into a topic that has been buzzing on social media and beyond. J.K. Rowling, who kind of needs no introduction, but I will play an intro showing her recent life accomplishments anyway. So Rowling, who has very clearly appointed herself as a defender of women's rights, recently found herself in hot water after a particularly nasty Twitter campaign against Algerian boxer Imane Khelif. So, yeah, the woman who brought us Hermione Granger, the epitome of intelligence and strength, has taken to using her platform to gatekeep womanhood, deciding who is worthy of the label and who isn't. Now, let's give you guys a bit of a background. Imane Khelif is an accomplished boxer representing Algeria on the international stage. She's a force to be reckoned with in the ring, but beyond that, she's had to face a barrage of invasive questions and scrutiny over her gender identity. This controversy started when a Russian-led organization, International Boxing Association, IBA, rendered that she had failed their gender test last year. Now they never published the results, nor the kind of test they conducted on her. But this had famously come after Imane had defeated a Russian boxer in semifinals. So, you are free to speculate why all of this happened. Regardless, Imane qualified for the Olympics and ended up being so good that her opponent, Angela Carini, in one match quit midway. This led to a massive internet hate campaign against Imane, accusing her of being a man. Because apparently in a women's boxing competition, if you are stronger than your opponent, you are going to be called a man? Enter J.K. Rowling, who apparently saw this as an opportunity to unleash her brand of so-called feminism. Instead of offering support, Rowling and some other scholars went on a Twitter tirade, questioning Imane's identity and in no uncertain terms labeling her as a man. In Rowling's world, it seems, only those who meet her specific criteria are allowed to be women.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
The rest? Well, according to Rowling, they're just imposters taking up space that should belong to real women. This kind of rhetoric is not just problematic, it's dangerous. By challenging the legitimacy of someone's identity, Rowling isn't protecting anyone. She's perpetuating harm. She's contributing to the toxic environment that women like Imane have to navigate daily. And she's doing it under the guise of defending women's rights. But here's where things get really interesting. Imane Khelif, who ended up securing a whole gold medal in Paris 2024 after all this internet wildfire, decided to take legal action, suing Rowling and the other scholars for cyberbullying. So yeah, the tables have turned, and now Rowling finds herself in the hot seat. So, how has the self-styled defender of women's rights responded to this lawsuit? Silence. Absolute radio silence. For someone who's been so vocal, so adamant about her beliefs, this sudden disappearance from the public eye is, well, it's telling. It's almost as if Rowling realized that in the light of day, in the courtroom, her bullying wouldn't hold up. The bravado she showed on Twitter has evaporated, and now she's left with nothing but the sound of crickets. Let's take a closer look at some of the tweets that landed Rowling in this mess. In one particularly disturbing tweet, Rowling claimed that Imane's success was illegitimate, insinuating that she was taking opportunities away from real women. This isn't just an attack on Imane, it's an attack on all women who don't fit Rowling's narrow definition of femininity. It's the kind of rhetoric that fuels exclusion, not empowerment. And this isn't an isolated incident. Rowling has made a habit of targeting marginalized communities, whether it's trans women, non-binary individuals, or anyone else who dares to live their truth. She's turned her Twitter account into a platform for her own personal crusade, one that's more about policing identities than protecting rights. But let's talk about what's really going on here. Rowling isn't protecting women, she's protecting her own ego. By positioning herself as the ultimate arbiter of womanhood, she's able to maintain control over who gets to be included and who doesn't. And when someone like Imane Khelif stands up and says, "No, you don't get to define me," Rowling's response is to try and silence them. Well, this time it didn't work. Imane fought back, not just with words, but with legal action. And now, Rowling is the one who's been silenced. The lawsuit is still ongoing, but the impact is already clear. Rowling's sudden disappearance from social media shows that she's not as invincible as she thought. When faced with real consequences, her bravado quickly turned into cowardice. This whole saga serves as a reminder that no matter how powerful someone might seem online, they're not above accountability. Rowling might have convinced herself that she was untouchable, but Imane Khelif proved otherwise. And for that, we should all be grateful. Imane Khelif, on the other hand, has shown incredible strength and resilience, both in and out of the ring. She's standing up not just for herself, but for everyone who's ever been told they're not enough, because they don't fit into someone else's narrow definition of identity. As we close out today's discussion, let's take a moment to reflect on what this situation says about the broader issues at play. J.K. Rowling may have started as a beloved author, but her actions have shown us a different side, one that's far less noble. Her obsession with gatekeeping womanhood has led her down a path of hypocrisy and harm, and now she's facing the consequences. So where does this leave us? Well, it leaves us with a lot to think about the power of words, the importance of accountability, and the strength it takes to stand up against a bully, even when that bully is someone as powerful as J.K. Rowling. Thanks for joining me today. If you have thoughts on this, I'd love to hear them. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical, and above all, stay compassionate. Subscribe and hit that bell icon. Bye, Pookies.